Greetings, Masters. I am Metatron, Lord of Light. We greet you in a vector of unconditional love. We welcome each of you individually. 2014 continues to be an extraordinary year, and one of challenges and intensities. With the diminishing of the magnetic grid and the full emergence of the 144 crystalline grid, all that you term power nodes are redefining and reforming into greater energy. The living Earth is in constant flux, and the advent of solar radiation is symbiotic with the upshift into crystalline frequency in the continuing shift. The solar reversal is still in effect and has affected many of you in manners not fully acknowledged, and this has been amplified with solar radiation. The new Earth, the new paradigm, enables geomagnetic changes at both the magnetic poles. The rate of spin about the axis is lessening somewhat in a gradually sustainable manner, and this does affect the cyclic ratio of Earth's inner crystalline core to the mantle. The ratio of the Earth rotation to the rotation of the inner core determines the pulse of your space-time continuum. This is occurring now and will continue over the next years. It is experienced by many as the quickening of time. So we tell you that a wonderful and beautiful new Earth has indeed emerged, and in mass, those of you in light created it, and it is so. And now we speak of these magnificent and benevolent upshifts, and to assist the topic, we bring in the energy of Tyberonn Ra of the Pleiades, an aspect of the Metatronic and of the Oversoul energy of the channel James Tyberonn. We begin. Greetings! Colorado is an incredible, nurturing, and astonishingly potent land of unique and extraordinarily diverse telluric energies that are upshifting in the new Earth and taking on new roles leading into 2038. Unlike the vortexial energies of Arizona, which can be spiked and jagged in their intense electrical pulses, the energies of Colorado are far more balanced, yet equally powerful. Sedona has a purposed imbalance that enables a crucible effect of purification and cleansing, whereas the energies of Colorado provide a sense of well-being and balance that opens one into insights and allows for integral unity healing. Now, the upshift of Colorado initiates in full force with the total solar eclipse of the March 20th equinox in 2015. It will be in full force through the June solstice of 2015. It will convert many aspects of the magnetic to the crystalline, and in so doing, assist in clearing and healing polarity webs of negativity from specific areas. These must be balanced in the upshift, and an entourage of spirit and cosmic alliances will be involved. So, to further explain, the Earth is consciously multidimensional and can be more accurately termed as the Omni-Earth. Masters, the grand consciousness of the living Earth exists in a vastly different modality and sequence of time than does humanity. That is why powerful areas retain a clarity above 3D, regardless of 3D conflict. Yet in the upshift, the crystalline energy will absolutely assist in clearing 3D temporal imprints. This is true for all power nodes, for indeed, each sacred site, each power node and stargate has a unique frequential signature and sentient consciousness, a succinct spirit of place that is above the duality realm of the third dimension. That is why one must be able to raise their vibration to unlock the key to such vectors. That is why what occurs in 3D duality cannot truly malefict the true nature and higher resonance of power nodes. Dense energies in 3D will always occur. It is the polar nature of duality. But dense 3D energies cannot rise into the crystalline higher dimension, and the spirit and frequency of sacred sites and power nodes is absolutely above 3D. The 37th latitude. The Colorado aspects of the Rio Grande Rift will be upshifted from an already very high frequency. This will occur along the 37th latitude and include the complete San Luis Valley, the mountains of St. John, San Juan. This is a remarkable area, and the terrestrial rift embellishes the resonance. It includes the area of Crestone and the Stargate of Needle Rock. The living water geothermal springs will also take on a crystalline resonance. In most areas of mountain ranges there exist both ends of the electromagnetic spectrum, that of positive and negative charges. The Colorado Upshift will effectively transfer and replace much of these magnetic energies with the non-polar crystalline field. As such, Colorado does indeed carry the full spectrum of light, and aspects of brilliant light beyond the visible range. The Rio Grande Rift in the San Luis Valley area and San Juan Mountains actually produces a musical frequency beyond the range of the human ear. It is in essence a living crystal bowl, as it carries pure music notes that are beyond the current human sonic capacity. Light and sound are connected. Both represent what you might term colors and musical notes within your perception. The resonance of these in the rift section of Colorado are upshifting into remarkable refinement and forming a renewed and benevolent harmony. Such harmony is very healing and has a far reach. Particularly within this healing harmonic, within the deep refrain of subtle calm, one finds it easier to understand the true purpose of being. And here is divine wellness, self-love. Love of self as love of source, you see. Does that clarity not bring peace and true well-being? Indeed it does. Many, such as the channel, have experienced such prioritizing clarity and visioning in this area, for here it is more easily accessed. There are other sacred portals upon the earth that provide well-being, but here especially, that peace opens another door that leads to an even higher level of awareness. One in which illumination of deeper truth facilitates the serious seeker to find a much greater equity of self-acceptance and realization of individual purpose. The Rockies activation. Masters, the surface of the earth is literally an ocean of energy. This energetic aggregation is formed from a variety of sources. The decomposition of organic matter actually creates and releases an electric charge, as does the flow of waters, both surface and subsurface, in aquifers and underground rivers. The geothermal heating, solar energy, volcanics, tectonic movement, and stress creates and projects massive amounts of energy, crystalline minerals are energy amplifiers that store, transmute, and transmit energy. You are familiar with the electrical aspectual flow of that you term ley lines, and we will add that there are additional lines of energetic flow and points of energetic projection other than ley lines. Included are the axialtonal lines of harmonic oscillation and the unique telluric energy flows that occur along rivers, hydrolines, aquifers, fault lines, and the continuous spine of mountain ranges and mountain cordilleras add considerable living conduits of energy to the conscious Earth. Mountain ranges carry a flow of incredible energy. The mountain systems of the Earth are characterized by a network structure. Many mountain ranges have sub-ranges within them. It can be appropriately thought of as a parent-child relationship, for they are deeply connected in currents of energy, both ley lines and axialtonal lines. At the base core of the Rocky Mountain Range are the ancestral Rockies, a base of metamorphic rock that is over 1.7 billion years old. This is very significant because when igneous or sedimentary rock is transformed by pressure and heat to metamorphic, the nature of the rock is morphed into incredibly vibrant structures of crystalline attribute. Tectonic movement pushed this ancient plate upward into the spine of the Rockies, and this represents the primary energetic current projection. There are, of course, intrusions of volcanic rock and glacier cuts forming lush valleys, etched by streams and rivers and separated by rifts, all of which amplify, pool, and diversify the living conscious geological energies. But at the core is the metamorphic stream of beingness. Accordingly, the Rocky Mountains, and all such ranges, may be likened to an enormous benevolent electrical life form. Your ancients called them the sacred dragon because they carry the kundalini of the planet along their lengthy serpentine spine. And in 2015, the kundalini of the Rockies will upshift into the crystalline aspect. This will initiate with the total solar eclipse on the March equinox of 2015, year 3 of the new Earth. It will involve all that is reverent and relevant within the massifs of the range, from its beginning in northern Canada to its completion in New Mexico. The Rocky Mountain columnar has innumerable points of power along its serpentine length, each formed uniquely and differentiated by latitudinal vibrancy, mineralogy, geology, tectonics, electromagnetics, crystallography, and elevation. The conduit of the major current will generally flow from north to south, specific to the northern hemisphere. This current is fed along certain points, and the north to south conduit will have a projected energy field that emanates spherically in all directions, and have reverse flow streams that form a balancing oscillation effect throughout the length and breadth, somewhat similar to an auric ovoid and conscious electromagnetosphere. The potency of the auric ovoid will vary according to solar, stellar, planetary, and lunar angles and their gravitational phases. In hyperdimensional physics, the latitudinal flows of energy are tied to sacred geometrics, and thus latitudinal and longitudinal flows are quite valid. But what must be also included are mineralogical and geological features that collate and amplify varying sources of energy. The most active shifts will occur between the 49th and 54th latitude in Canada, and the 35th to 40th latitude in Colorado and northern New Mexico. The area of the Rockies in Canada is one of brilliant light and uniquely of crystalline waters that occur on the 51st latitude, and we have spoken of this remarkable area in a separate channel. Reference the sacred Banff channel. Banff is upshifting to the 12th chakra from the 7th. Colorado in kind is carrying energy of heart with aspects of all 12 chakras. The area of Crestone carries the 13th resonance. Incredible mineralized energy. The state of Colorado is one of the most potently mineralized areas in the world. Colorado is abundant in the variety of minerals found deposited within its strata. Many of the precious gems and minerals in the state do not appear in large concentrations, but are widely scattered in sites throughout the state, creating succinct power nodes. Many of those sites are on public lands such as state parks, national monuments, national forests, and indigenous tribal lands. There are as yet vast undiscovered deposits that will remain so within the protected land reserves, but the energy all of these exude is extremely potent in adding to the energetic landscape. Although Colorado contains deposits of vast amounts of gold and silver, there are also energetically influential deposits of copper, lead, zinc, uranium, radium, vanadium, and molybdenum. But such frequential ores are not the only powerful vibrating minerals found in the state. At least 30 varieties of crystals and gems are found throughout the state of Colorado. These include amazonite, beryl, lapis lazuli, agate, apatite, aquamarine, opal, malachite, chalcedony, diamond, rhodochrosite, beryl, emerald, garnet, topaz, tourmaline, rock crystal quartz, smoky quartz, crystalline barite, rose quartz, amethyst quartz, fluorite, turquoise, peridot, sapphire, and gem zircon. Metals include gold, silver, uranium, copper, lead, iron, hematite, pyrite, galena, nickel, zinc, magnetite, titanium, and even deposits of platinum. Colorado will be extremely active in the harmonic Stargate energies of 2015. The peak periods will be from late May through the solstice of June. The energies of Colorado are quite unique and quite varied. There are 8 distinct geological environs in Colorado, and each contributes to the whole, yet each retains individual attributes and identities. These have been in place for many millions of years, geologically speaking, but these are upshifting in the energy of the new Earth, specifically because of the crystalline grid. The drivers of the upshift are many, but the primary force of change is solar radiation. So the crystalline shift and solar radiation are changing to a great degree the energy of all sacred sites, but especially those containing crystalline mineralogy. And virtually all mountainous matrix energies have potent crystalline mineralogy. Great portions of the Rocky Mountains are crystal-bearing igneous and crystalline metamorphic rock. The tectonic plate collision process, mineralogy, volcanics, and other telluric forces that create mountain ranges collates incredible energies that are not only retained, but combined and amplified by the unique mineralogy. The crystalline minerals, metamorphic deposits, crystals, and conductive attributes of the strata have not only a specific current flow, but a consciousness, a spirit of beingness that exists in the continual range. In a manner of speaking, the Rocky Mountains, in overview, can be considered as a main conduit of singular ley flow consciousness, extending over 3,000 miles, beginning in northern British Columbia and ending in northern New Mexico. That consciousness is a fluidic river of a succinct concentrate of crystal-magno-electric force, born of the living earth, and is fed by numerous dynamic energy sources. It spawns a webbing network of vital currents and ley lines, just as a mighty river may feed streams and brooks. The San Luis Basin and Rio Grande Rift. In areas that contain geological rifts, the energy is further affected and amplified. The Rio Grande Rift adds a unique aspect to this energy. A rift is a thinning in the Earth's surface caused by stretching the surface through geological stress. The Earth's upper crusts are much thinner in a rift and are much more embellished by energetic, tectonic, and volcanic forces. They are often filled with geothermal waters that are mineral-rich and thus spawn rich deposits of ores and crystalline minerals. In Colorado, the Rio Grande Rift occupies the area of the San Luis Basin, which is teeming with a unique, amplified, but very balanced frequency. The Espanola Basin is in northern New Mexico, in the areas of Taos and Santa Fe, and is also an enhanced and balanced portion of the Rio Grande Rift. The Rio Grande Rift occurs from north-central Colorado through New Mexico, extreme western Texas, and northern Mexico. It is widening annually at a rate of 2 millimeters per year, which, in the slow dance of geology, is quite significant. The San Luis and Espanola basins are extremely balanced in terms of benevolent frequency, and is a large key as to why these two portions of Colorado and northern New Mexico are areas of thin veils and very conducive to spiritual awareness. These energies symbiotically are collated with the energies of the Sangre de Cristos and San Juan ranges of the Rocky Mountain extended Cordillera. Incredible Stargate portals exist within these areas, including the center of Crestone and Needle Rock Triad in Colorado, Mount Trucia and Mount Wheeler, Taos and Santa Fe in northern New Mexico. The northern basins of the Rio Grande Rift are calderic bowls of extraordinary and exquisitely balanced energies. They are perfectly balanced between latitudes of 39 and 33 degrees. Rifts are rare, and every area on the Earth that contains a rift is circumvented with spiraling energies and teeming with life force. Most rifts are found along mid-ocean ridges. Only a few are located on land, such as the East African Rift and the Rift of Lake Baikal in Siberia. Both are incredible. The Rio Grande Rift contains a remarkable dynamic buoyancy of strata below it, and is extremely active, and is the wind beneath the wings of this astonishing area. This energy is synergistic with the astonishing energy of the Rockies and the crystalline aspect of its mineralogy. It was formed millions of years ago, 35 to 29 million years ago, and triggered volcanism as the crust became stretched thin in its expansive layering, opening vast subsurface energy flows that have formed massive spiraling vortexes and electromagnetic currents. It is teeming with energy. What then will occur for the embellished phase of the Rockies is an extraordinary matrix of some 300 plus miles per side in oscillating harmonic reach. We emphatically tell you that the telluric energies that flow within this expanded Colorado region are absolutely laden with codes of the upshift and are essential to the Aquarian shift of the new Earth. New ley lines are forming, as are new points of power. One that is re-emerging is Needle Rock. Question to Metatron from James Tyberonn. Needle Rock is within the area of Colorado you mentioned. I first saw Needle Rock near Crawford, Colorado, while driving through the area 15 years ago from a distance, and was utterly compelled to go there. I was absolutely drawn to it as if it were a magnet. I explored it for an entire afternoon, and was astonished at the tangible cigar-shaped extraterrestrial crafts coming in and floating around it. There were numerous spirit shaman acting as guardians. I was told at the time it would become one of the most powerful stargates on the planet. Can you expand on this? Metatron. Needle Rock in Colorado is one of the most powerful and least recognized Stargate wormholes on the planet. It is an utterly astonishing mega portal. It is a time-space portal of stellar alignments and potent geocrystalline electromagnetic energies pulsing from it. It is an ancient triangulated volcanic plug. There are two more near it, and is almost pure metamorphic quartz with crystallized hexagonal columns of basalt, as occurs in Devil's Tower, also known as Spirit Rock. It is an extrusive volcanic rock with crystalline contents of 60% quartz, with silicate, feldspar, and mica content. It incorporates the golden mean and the universal frequency. It does so by the resonance of its intricate faceting and angular design. It exists in the now and is contained within that termed the past and the future. Can you imagine that? It does so to a large degree from your reference by its utilization of the golden mean and its frequential pulse. It is a time gate, and within its multi-dimensional matrix are entries to Hollow Earth. It is upshifting, and many will be drawn to this incredible complex and sacred monument. We will discuss this in greater detail in a future channel, as it is an extraordinary site, which was recognized by the Law of One Atlanteans, Native American shaman, as well as the Syrian Pleiadian Alliance. Now, the Earth plane, your planet as you know it, is a specific focal vector for consciousness. At your level, you think your planet is divided into areas of land and water, continents and oceans. The awareness faculties of humankind, indeed your consciousness, are tuned into frequencies of perception that give you that impression. But from a metatronic perspective, your planet is also faceted into frameworks of time and probability areas, termed parallels. So all time, all parallels coexist in greater reality of the Omni-Earth. As such, all of your epochs, all of your time eras, all of your many civilizations coexist at once. Indeed, from this extraordinary panorama, time is simultaneous. So all eras of Earth history are embedded in time and clearly exist in the eternal now, along with your current linear flow within the continuum of space-time vector. Within the golden mean, within what you term portals, there are certain bleed-throughs, certain apertures that allow for movement. Needle Rock is one such time gate. Needle Rock lingers, in defiance of your society's carefully nurtured notions of what constitutes reality and what is fantasy. The images of shaman and extraterrestrial craft you observed, speaking to James Tyberonn, in your visit there were quite real. One of the shaman you observed on the rock edifice was a manifestation of a past life of you that recognized the rock, and was the reason you were drawn there. Needle Rock is emerging and will soon be recognized for its incredible energy. It is a major intergalactic portal site. Unique signatures of sacred sites. Now, we wish to share two important clarifications. First, our use of the term sacred site requires a brief caveat. To be clear, the Earth in all parts is sacred, but there are specific locations on the planet that carry far greater energy, far greater access to the higher realms. Humanity refers to these as sacred sites. Perhaps a more accurate defining term is Powernode, vectors of vortexial portals formed from a myriad of sources that are conscious teachers and extraordinary gateways. So, to further explain, the Earth is consciously multidimensional and can be more accurately termed as the Omni-Earth. Masters, the grand consciousness of the living Earth exists in a vastly different modality and sequence of time than does humanity. This is true for all power nodes, for indeed each sacred site, each power node and stargate has a unique frequential signature and sentient consciousness, a succinct spirit of place that is above the duality realm of the third dimension. That is why one must be able to raise their vibration to unlock the key to such vectors. That is why what occurs in 3D duality cannot truly malaffect the true nature and higher resonance of power nodes. Masters, nothing occurs on the Earth that is not under the conscious mastery of the divine living Earth. Although better understanding and wise stewardship is essential, humanity would not be in any area that is currently habited if it were not purposely granted for at least a period of time. There is indeed a reason for humanity having access to specific living cathedrals. Those areas on the Earth you term power points are apexes of infinity. These points are the primary dissemination mechanism of higher dimensional energies. The vortex portal templates that occur on the Earth are uniquely varied, yet have many benevolent commonalities. Within specific power nodes that humanity terms as sacred sites, the door to sacred knowledge is opened, and a catalytic energy exchange occurs. The pilgrim and focal seeker can become imprinted with the code keys of frequential wisdom, unique to each sacred site visited. In kind, each pilgrim imprints their highest reverence into the energy of place. One may receive coded light energy from the site and feed higher frequential energy back into it. A synergetic transposition ensues as each seeker begins to manifest the impeccability and higher dimensional perfection of every sacred site visited, each melding and building upon the other. You carry with you the energy of every power node you visit, and indeed each pilgrimage, each spiritual quest amplifies your energy coding. Power nodes can be defined in simplistic terms as areas that resonate at a higher vibration and are catalysts for spiritual experience. Such areas often radiate crystal electric magnetic fields of higher frequency. These locations can be naturally occurring or man-made. The latter are often temples or stone circles built over naturally occurring ley lines or energy points. Temples, cathedrals, and pyramids built to sacred geometry actually attract and amplify energies, especially when built over telluric hotspots that contain crystallized minerals such as quartz. Numerous sacred sites are aligned celestially at specific angles to cosmic points. The vortexial matrices of certain power nodes on the planet are what may be termed purification or crucible vectors. This is indeed a rare and yet perfect blend of energies for revealing what is hidden. It is the perfect storm. Not all vortexes are as such. Each will vary, and each will spin according to its purpose and design. In these locales, there is a purposed intensity that can be either a stepping stone or a hindrance. Question from James Tyberonn. You have discussed differing types of sacred sites and power nodes. Can you list these and explain the difference? Metatron response. We have discussed this in prior channels, and as we have said, the Earth is in a new matrix and under the influence of a new planetary grid. The magnetic grid has diminished and is replaced in essence by the Crystalline 144 grid, and this does absolutely shift the energy not only of humanity, but of the Earth. Now, the channel has asked for the defining of what is termed a sacred site, or a point of power. We tell you quite simply that a power point is many things. It is that which is of relevant importance to both the Earth and to humanity, to within and to without the Earth, to the celestial heavens and to the celestial body itself. It is that which empowers. It is that which evolves. It is that which affects conscious evolution. It is that which is destined to remain a part of humanity's cellular existence. A portal is that which allows one source of energy or beingness to transfer its energy from one source to another, from one world to another, physical or non-physical. It allows that which is a transition of energies for purpose. Some portals through dimensions, some through space, some through time, and some through all of these. Some portals align to specific star groups, others to specific planets. Some are set to receive energetic feeds of light and of more complex higher dimensional crystalline energies. The adept can determine which ones are which types. Now, there are many forms of conscious energies that attach themselves to the structure of power sites. This is enabled by the energetic nature and multi-dimensional overlay of such locations. When these living cathedrals are so recognized, the very reverence that they attract from humankind is imbued upon them. The accumulation of such high vibratory emotions collates and forms the energies of what you call guardian spirits. This is different from what is called the spirit of place, and differs from the energies of the angelic realm, Devic, and elemental kingdoms. And we tell you that all of these succinct energies and consciousness exist more tangibly in power points. Now, a power node is, in Metatronic terms, the raw basis for a sacred site. But humankind can energize and groom natural power nodes into becoming sacred. Let us say that a power node, then, is a natural energy field that resonates to a higher frequency, originating indigenously from its geologic mineralogy, its vector in relation to stellar angles or planetary placement, or telluric earthen source. It may be a mountain, a valley, or river confluence that exudes an amplified sense of balance, well-being, and tranquility. When it is inhabited or frequented by people who recognize and honor that land, and meld their acknowledgement and reverence energetically through prayer or ceremony, then the power point can become a sacred site. In that way, their energies and high intentions are melded into the energy of the power node matrix field. Types of power nodes into sacred sites. 1. Natural telluric energies. Mineral deposits such as gold, quartz and diamonds, mountains, oceans, volcanoes, rivers and springs. 2. Man-made. Pyramids and cathedrals built with sacred geometric architecture. 3. Grid points. points of grid and cosmic alignment. 4. Sacred plant life. Fields created by oak and redwood and other powerful plant life systems. 5. Human imprint sites, such as tombs of great leaders and sites of historical or religious events. Some imprint sites, while energetically embellished, may also carry a sadness if the human imprint area is one of a battlefield or disaster that is memorialized. Now, all such sites, in order to transition from a power node to a sacred site and to fall into the categories listed above, must initially contain a base matrix that contains a higher or differentiated energetic nature that is capable of storing and amplifying, and thus increasing, in fortitude when the human energetic element is added. Do you understand? Now, many but not all sacred sites have a vortexial attribute. Vortexes are complex, but may be crudely and simply defined as circulatory energies, usually formed when the Earth currents intersect or where specific mineralogies occur. Portals occur at specific areas of vortex, but not all vortexes contain a portal, yet all portals contain a vortex. The vortex serves as the delivery mechanism of the energies and codes brought through the opening, you see. Portals are unique points of connection, of gateways of transmission and receival. Some portals are what is termed stargates and connect what may be termed wormholes to a specific point in the cosmos. Others are infinity points, which are open gateways, offering unlimited connections to all dimensions, all realities. Some of these may lead to what is considered as external worlds, others as intra-realities. Masters, there are universes that exist in molecules. Axialtonal lines, harmonic oscillation. Axialtonal lines connect power nodes and sacred site energies of similar frequency through harmonic oscillation. Harmonic oscillation is a scientific fact of physics. When a musical note in the key of C, for example, is played on the piano, it will automatically create an actual audible vibration in a tuning fork in the key of C, as well as the other C notes on the piano. Now, the Earth is a living entity and has been conscious in all her forms. As a gaseous, fiery sphere, the Earth was just as conscious as she is now, in your terms. But we will add that although humanity tends to refer to the Earth as a feminine beingness, the Earth is in truth neither male nor female, but integral with attributes you define in terms of gender. Mother Earth, in your terms, because Earth provides the nurturing sustenance of life to humanity. It is with humor that we see man speaking of saving the planet, and while we commend the environmentalists of your planet, what is truly being saved is man's ability to live upon the Earth. You see, the planet will survive even if man destroys the resources required for human biology to sustain itself. Sacred sites are teachers, and they teach in the third language, the unspoken resonance of light. The Native Americans understood this and always made an offering and asked permission before entering a holy place. When a pilgrim enters a sacred site in reverence, an energy envelops the human auric field, and one's entire being is shifted. One learns through stillness, through quieting the inner narrator and by allowing the wisdom to flow inward. The wisdom of universal knowledge is activated within your God mind and within your very cellular DNA. Certain types of sacred sites, primarily those that emit light through an octahedral geometric overlay, purify you. They literally force one to face imperfections and parts of your life pattern habits that are in conflict with your higher selves. The seeker becomes purged through the crucible of deep self-examination. Other sacred sites, those that project light through the dodecahedral lens, such as Rosslyn Chapel, facilitate each seeker's journey into higher realms. In sacred sites, the door to this sacred knowledge is opened, and a catalytic energy exchange can occur. The reverent seeker who is able to raise their vibratory rate becomes initiated, imprinted with the keys of frequential wisdom unique to each sacred site visited, and in kind imbues their own energetic imprint into the energy of place. The concentrated energy matrix of sacred sites is frequentially crystalline in nature. As such, they have properties of crystals, specifically the ability to receive, transmit, and store energy. Sacred sites are conscious and knowing. They are teachers. A self-aware spirit of place exists within the living energetic matrix. Because of this, a reverent pilgrim can advance their own consciousness within them, in osmosis and induction of spirit. A pilgrim can increase their psychic ability by learning to consciously open the pineal and spiritual experience. A pilgrim can access deep wisdom and healing. Like crystals and gems, sacred sites are amplifiers. Chakras are both heightened and balanced. Thought waves are manifested into reality far more rapidly in these crystalline templates. The ancients understood this and utilized these places for prayer, meditation, and vision quest. In such reverent process, a sense of well-being is achieved and stored within the energy of the site. This sense of well-being is a key part of why so many are compelled to visit power points and sacred sites. The profound spiritual links between Earth and the cosmos help one to better understand their great yearning to know why they are here. They help you understand your purpose and activate you to evolve into a higher form of consciousness. Question from James Tyberonn. Is it necessary to visit these specific power nodes and portals to receive this nurturing? Metatron response. Yes, but this can be done above the physical sense. It can and is done etherically, but we will say it is done far more rapidly and more potently in physically visiting, in the sense of a sacred pilgrimage. Few humans are actually of sufficient light quotient to etherically, consciously bilocate. In visiting a site physically, the body physical is encapsulated in the energy of the power node, and chakras are aligned and thus fine-tuned to the aperture of the sacred resonance. Some of the earth keepers and grid workers being drawn into the key nodes and portal complexes do so with a pre-agreed contract. It is then a mission of sorts, that being as the pioneers, the pathfinders, who go to initially both receive and expand through their group intent and ceremony, the alignment of the frequency. It is not to say that these energies would not serve the purpose without this, but rather the group mass go to set the pattern for others and to add their energy and intent into the paradigm, and thus accelerate and amplify it. Each human who visits such geometric overlays absorbs that pattern into their field and then become batteries that carry the pattern directly back to their homes and to other locations they visit. Has this not been the very mission of so many earthkeepers and grid workers who have been intensely drawn for the past 3 decades to visit, honor, and do ceremony in what is termed sacred sites? It is why you, speaking directly to James Tyberonn, were directed over the past 35 years to circumnavigate the globe and visit nodes on each continent. You carry the energy of each location within your field, and somewhat like a honeybee pollinating flora, you are among many others who have transmitted the energy of each vortex portal and power nodes to not only the other sites you visited, but to the like-minded Earth Keepers you have been in contact with over the years. And we clarify that it is not one single Earth Keeper, grid worker, or light worker involved in this task, but thousands who have felt the call and done likewise within their capacity to travel. Each sacred site, each vortex portal, each grid point and power node records itself in the field of the awakened pilgrim who meditates and does sacred ceremony within the specific geometric energy projection of the node. It is then of benefit not just to the seeker, but to all those he contacts in varying degrees, you see. The variation then depends on the light quotient of both the sender and receiver. It is not by accident or random choice that we have led the channel to host gatherings in the pyramids of Egypt, Israel, Jordan, Yellowstone Tetons, Banff, Shasta, Peru, Arkansas, Lake Tahoe, and other areas such as Colorado. Whether these are prompted around crystalline energy awakenings or refinements, each has a benefit to the attendee and indeed the planet, and is timed to occur on dates that are uniquely timed, such as solstices, equinoxes, triple date harmonics, lunar triggers, and eclipses. The recent gathering in the area of Temple Mount in Israel, for example, created an enormous projection of energy not only within the field of each attendee, but to the planet, to all others who tuned in. In fact, the Holy Land's pilgrimage not only strengthened existing leys, earthen grids, and axialtonal lines, but created new ones. It planted the seeds of the return of the Christos energy. It is why so many felt the call to take part. It was and is an answering to a pre-agreed soul contract. Responsible co-creation. Now, we will say, it remains to be seen as to what degree of Earth change will occur with the loosening of the planet's axial torque. But the global cataclysm foretold by your 2012 doomsday prophets did not occur, and need not occur. You have changed it. There will indeed be an appropriate process of purification, but not on the proportion of global devastation, as the Earth brings in the crystalline frequency. We tell you that the planet's harmonic measurement, the human grid frequential, has made benevolent progress, and that there are enough souls now of high vibration to create the future and sustain it as you enter the 20th cycle. Yet even now there are many that remain attracted to disheartening apocalyptic predictions and fear-based conspiracies of dark forces. And the provocative energy of such foreboding predictions and frightening scenarios not only arouses distressing emotions, the very focus on fearful worriment opens you to further anxiety and negativity. Remember, you create your reality and absolutely draw to yourself that which you fear. And in the accelerated energy of the new Earth, abilities of focal manifestation are enhanced. There will always be naysayers and seers of disaster, and there is a ready audience to follow them. But the wise among you must realize that you do far more to create a positive world and a joyful, prosperous future by focally creating a positive outcome than fearing a potential negative one. This specific form of fear has a decadent attraction and creates a perverse fascination in somewhat the same manner that draws an adolescent to watch a horror film, but with much graver consequences if one fears a future potential. Such fear is negative, And if you focus on fear, you create a destructive conscious thought form that can disrupt your mental balance, fracture your aura, and attach to you. And once attached, it will attempt to manifest that which you dread, albeit in a personal reality of paranoia that you create. Fear will follow you until you realize that it is fear itself that is the enemy. So we tell you that a wonderful and beautiful new earth has indeed emerged, and in mass, those of you in light created it, and it is so. Closing. Masters, the earth is upshifting, and this transition is just the beginning. The living earth is a teacher, and certain vectors are embellished to assist you. There are sacred points upon the earth that provide an opportunity for clearing, others for deeper unity and wisdom. Colorado is an area that is feminine in vibration, in the sense that it provides a nurturing and expansion to the full 33 chakra system in the Merkana field. It is an energy that can give one peace, a serenity for illuminating deeper truth, deeper understanding. It is upshifting to allow you to see your purpose. The divinity here is aligned with the law of creation. That law is in alignment with Source, making known what is not always understood, making known the unknown. You are not put here upon the earth to live your life in obligation to others. Your obligation is to Source, and you are Source. Love of self must be first. That is a misunderstanding by many who have spent numerous lives in the cloth of priesthood, in the dogma belief of original sin, you see. You are Source. You are the divine. This must be understood. All aspects you create in your life are mirrors of you. If you will live your life by obligation, then you obligate yourself in essence to another life, you see? If you live your life thinking you are here to serve others before the self, then you misunderstand the purpose of your sojourn. In Sedona, one experiences an incredible vortex within an energy that allows for release, one that allows for the obstacles to be faced. It is an intensity that serves a purpose, but is also a designed imbalance and energy not sustainable to everyone. In Colorado, one has the remarkable ability to vision purpose in a sustainable, nurturing uplift. For many, Colorado should follow Sedona, the clearing, the release, and then the lifting to purpose and action of the higher self. Dear ones, some of you may feel that in theory, meditating in a vortexial portal power node should be no different from meditating in one's living room. But we would tell you otherwise. There is indeed an expansion that more rapidly and more powerfully occurs in areas of embellished energy. These extraordinary frequencies within areas of thin dimensional veils can utterly expand you and enable an exquisite energy exchange that upshifts you with remarkable transformative codes and astonishing knowledge. A sense of an unseen greater reality is felt. Perhaps it is a wind that flows through your hair when there is no wind, or a brilliant flash of light in the corner of one's eye. But to the savant among you, we are speaking to the choir. There are interwoven chains of influence and tapestries of light and sound that await you in Colorado. That will not be found elsewhere, and this is so in every unique node on your magnificent living earth. They wait to embrace you, for they are teachers. I am Metatron, and I share with you these truths. You are beloved. And so it is, and it is so.